For 11 days, the people of Sibuyan Island manned a barricade to prevent a mining company, Altai Philippines Mining Corporation, from transporting nickel ore. The barricade was temporarily breached on February 3 when the police dispersed the protesters and allowed 3 trucks through. But over the weekend, Altai Mining was issued notices of violation and then a cease and desist order. This is a victory for the people of Sibuyan, but a temporary one. What happens now? How long will this ceasefire last? Is it possible for the government to actually revoke the company's MPSA or Mineral Production Sharing Agreement and make the win permanent? Good evening. I'm John Nery, and you are in the public square. The images of the protest in Sibuyan have been stirring, the courage of the protesters deeply moving. Environmentalist Rodne Galicha is one of the protest leaders. He is executive director of the Living Laudato Si NGO, and he joins us tonight from Sibuyan, where he is from. Welcome, Rodney, and thank you for joining us in the public square.
Hi, John. Thank you for having us in the public square, and greetings to all who are watching and listening.
Rodney, the DNR has called a stop to the mining exploration by Altai, but you're still continuing with the barricades, right?
Yes, we're continuing the barricade because actually the DNR did not stop exploration activities in the island, meaning to say the company has still an exploration permit, an active exploration permit. The halt order includes some of the activities, just like the transport of ores from the
Mhm,
contract area to the port, the
mhm.
stoppage of the utilization of the port, among others. But anytime, any day, the mining company will say, okay, we'll continue with our exploration activities. This is just in one of the contract areas. They have another contract area, parcel number two. So we're not satisfied because the exploration permit is still active.
Okay, I did not know that it's only for parcel one, not for parcel two. They have these two areas, no, in on Sibuyan Island, where they got the MPSA. Um, the government has found Altai committed 4 violations. Are they equally disqualifying, or do the protesters need all four uh, to win? Parang this is like a, no, no, parang temporary restraining order, parang ganun.
Yes, parang ganun nga. And we were right, no, in demanding the documents. For the
Mhm,
last, no, this is our 16th day. And
mhm,
the Tuesday of last week, we had
mhm,
actually an informal negotiation with the mining company, asking
mhm,
them about their papers. So we asked them about the forestry lease contract, about the PPA, Philippine Ports Authority permit to construct port, and
mhm,
other documents. What they presented were actually scanned copies and photocopied papers. So we told them we cannot accept that. And with that, we continued the barricade. The police was there actually on that night, and the
mhm.
police knew that the mining company had no papers to present, specifically certified true copies as well.
Mhm. Ang
We're
hindi
not satisfied. Yes, good.
ang hindi ko maintindihan, no? This is an established company. Why did Altai Mining cut trees without the necessary permit or construct a
This,
causeway without an ECC?
this issue is a policy issue. MPSA, the Mineral Production
Mhm,
Sharing Agreement, even the exploration permit,
mhm,
there are sweeping provisions there, and the mining company may use that permit, no, and even the
mhm,
agreement is saying that they have um, they have auxiliary rights to cut all the trees, but the agreement is very clear that although you were given, the company was given those rights, there are certain policies and laws that should have been complied as well
Mm-hmm.
before they proceed with the exploration activities. Be that as it may, we are very alarmed because during exploration activities with the technology that we have for sensing, for
Mm-hmm.
GIS, etc., the exploration work program was amended to include the extraction of 50,000 metric tons of nickel ore for
Mm-hmm.
metallurgical bulk sampling to be done outside the country.
So
It's
ito
very
yung
alarming.
mineral exploration part lang, ano? Up to
Yes,
50,000 metric tons of nickel ore.
yes.
If I just want to ask, if for instance they find, okay, there is a substantial nickel deposit here, about how many hundreds of thousands or millions of metric tons are you looking at?
We're calculating, John, if they will discover nickel, pure nickel in that
Mm-hmm.
ore,
Mm-hmm.
and the mineral ore export permit given by DNR indicates that there's 1.3% nickel and
Mm-hmm.
15 to 30% iron, and the rest is moisture.
Mm-hmm.
Using that calculation, if there's indeed 1.3% nickel, with 50,000 metric tons, we have 650 tons of pure nickel. And
Okay.
1 ton of pure nickel may cost like $28,000. And if we calculate all those, it would be a whopping 997 million pesos.
That's just for the 50,000
Yes,
metric tons. So
almost a billion. Almost a billion. I call this
almost.
legalized smuggling.
Ah, because it's still in the exploration part.
Yes, and the estimated value, as they said,
Mm-hmm.
indicated in the ore transport permit was only about 1 point something million dollars.
Yeah, nakita ko yung project scoping nila. Parang they said something like project cost is 300 million pesos. That's a different thing. That's a different
That's a different thing.
okay.
The cost, the estimated value of the
Mm-hmm.
mineral ore they will be transporting to somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
China is
Mm-hmm.
about $1 million only. No,
Only. Mm-hmm.
yan yung naka-indicate dun sa ore transport. But in fact,
Mm-hmm.
kung makakuha sila ng 1.3% nickel doon as indicated in the ore transport permit, mayroon na silang kikitain na 997 million pesos.
Meron din nakasulat dun sa project scoping na parang 27 million metric tons or 30 something million metric tons. Is that the, shall we say, the total universe ng nickel deposits dyan? Or um, how do we make sense of
Maaari,
this?
yeah, maaaring yun yung magiging estimated uh, pag-asay nila, no? Because this is
Mhm,
1,580 hectares of land
mhm,
to be mined uh,
mhm,
within Sibuyan Island. So,
mhm,
maaari, no? Maaari na gano'n kalaki yung kanilang makukuha sa kanilang development and utilization stage. And
mhm,
we're alarmed because mayroong fault line din doon, and
mhm.
above is a landslide prone area and below is highly susceptible for flooding.
Rodney, but even if the mining company, Altai Philippines, had not violated government regulations, it was after all government agencies, no, that found that issued notices of violation a few days ago. Even if they had followed, you would still protest, right, and call for a
Yes,
stop to mining. Yeah, no
if
mining at
you
all. Hmm?
yeah, no mining at all in Sibuyan Island. We will still protest because primarily
Mhm,
Sibuyan Island is one of the last ecological frontiers of the country. Almost
mhm,
every year, there are species of flora and fauna being named or being discovered. But
mhm,
at the same time, we have two protected areas. No, it's the uh, mangrove forest swamp reserve.
mhm,
All mangroves are protected
mhm.
in Sibuyan Island, and also Mount Kiting Kiting Natural Park.
Marketing.
It's
Mhm,
and their parcels, almost 70 to 80% of parcel 1, parcel 2 uh, combined, are within the buffer zone of Mount Giting-Giting National Park. And this will affect four major rivers, no, where we get our irrigation, where ito din yung dinadaanan ng mga pagbaha mula sa Mount Giting-Giting, because we have microclimate here in the island. When you go to another barangay, matindi yung sikat ng araw, pero pagpunta mo sa kabilang barangay, umuulan. And even kung dry dito sa lowland, wet naman doon sa bundok. And sometimes we have our rivers swelling ng flood kasi sobra ay yung pag-uulan sa taas ng bundok. So there are many reasons, but not only that, we have Cantingas River which may be affected. This is the source of our 90% clean energy and the source of our irrigation system.
So no mining, but 2009 pa yata yung MPSA. Tama ba?
Yes.
And then may protest and so tapos it was only approved finally. I think the technical term is renewal of exploration permit was granted only last year. No?
July.
Can you walk us through very quickly, no? A short story of this mining project?
Yeah, very quick. No, very quick. DNR would say, and even the mining company would say, that this was endorsed by the barangays, no, Barangay España and Barangay Tacloban. It was not endorsed by the municipality that time, but it was endorsed by Sangguniang Panlalawigan kasi daw ministerial dapat. But before the signing of the MPSA, the resolutions of the two barangays were actually revoked. No, this is because the resolutions were done with deception. May mga cases na final yung sa Barangay España, administrative na complaint, at yung isa naman sa Barangay Tacloban ay barangay kapitan lang at SK chairperson who acted as secretary yung nag-sign. Hindi alam ng mga kagawad na meron palang mga resolution na pinasa. So this was challenged. However, doon sa application ng Altay sa gobyerno, hindi in-include yung revocation, no? So hindi nakita din ng gobyerno na ayaw ng mga tao. At ito yung pinanghahawakan natin ng lahat, no? And please take note, John. This MPSA was signed by former Secretary Lito Atienza ng DNR 3 days before siya nag-resign bilang secretary.
Parang almost midnight approval, ano?
Yes.
So we talked about you've talked about popular support. Nakita ko din yung sa mga videos, no? How do you quantify that popular support? At least into the two affected barangays today?
Well, sa pagtingin natin, mayroong mga iba't ibang supporters, those who silently support because they are afraid of their political affiliation, those who are actually sa front lines, at yung mga talagang mga tao na ayaw. In our estimate, 90 to 95% ay sumusuporta sa cause ng Sibuyan Island. Makikita po natin yan even sa social media, and our OFWs who have been supporting the campaign na bumabaha yung tulong, no? Ibig sabihin yung mga in-kind, no? And even financial support to sustain the barricade. And we're very, very sure that majority of the people are with us, given the amount of people going to the barricade every day. Sometimes we see 1,000, 1,500, even 500 people. Yung least talaga, yung madaling araw kasi kami na lang, mga 50 or 100 people at the barricade.
Itong 90 to 95% support, this is in the two barangays that are affected, or in San Fernando, or all of Sibuyan Island?
This is all of Sibuyan Island. This is all of
I see.
Sibuyan Island with
Uh,
3 municipalities.
Rodney, Romblon, of which Sibuyan Island is part, is known for marble, di ba? So may mining has gone on for some time. Uh,
Yes.
is this does this strike you as unusual itong laban ng mga the people of Sibuyan Island, knowing that you are as a province famous for marble?
That we need to um, distinguish. No, marble
Okay.
is a non-metallic mineral, and we have
Okay.
nickel as a non as metallic mineral. The process of extracting these are different yung proseso, no? At
Mhm.
sa ngayon, hanggang sa ngayon, yung marble doon sa Romblon ay
Mhm.
tuloy-tuloy na kinakwari. And
Mhm.
we still need to document the best practices that the people are
Mhm.
doing there. So again, the major difference between the two is that nickel
Mhm.
is metallic. And for
Mhm.
nickel, you need to cut the trees, strip off the topsoil, get the nickel ore
Mhm.
underneath hanggang sa meron ka makukuha,
Mhm.
and you will transport that, and transport meaning to say you have to process it elsewhere. No, we have a processing plant, I think, somewhere in Palawan, but this one may be processed somewhere outside the country. So that's the
Mhm.
biggest difference. That's the biggest difference. Marble is artisanal in Romblon, meaning to
Mhm.
say pwede mong gawin iyon by using your hand or sometimes smaller
Mhm.
equipment. And that's why we're calling on our congressman, no, to nationalize or rationalize the utilization of the marble industry in Romblon, because there's no enabling policy nor an ordinance regulating the marble uh, utilization in the island of Romblon. That's one, again, one bigger challenge for the local officials and the congressman.
I see. Mabalik tayo dun sa notice of violations, tapos yung suspension, cease and desist orders, no? This started coming out, I think, Feb 2, then Feb 3, then Feb 6. Did the
Yes.
DNR act too late, sa tingin nyo?
The decision, I think, of the issuance of the notices of violation, too late siya. Too late dahil alam naman namin at alam ng DNR na may ginagawa ng port doon. No?
Mhm.
And they know that there are certain processes and clearances na dapat gawin. Uh, walang ECC, walang port construction ng port na permit. They
Mhm.
cut the trees, and by the mere fact that there is a presence of a critically endangered species of flora, which is called
Mhm.
Dillenia sibuyanensis or Katmon sibuyan, under the Department Administrative Order ng DNR and International Union for Conservation of Nature, nasa red list siya. Ito ay hindi puno, ito ay shrub na kung susukatin mo, hindi siya magfo-fall doon sa tinatawag nilang tree. And
Mhm.
also, in the environmental work program na sinabmit ng Altai Philippines Mining Corporation sa MGB, sinasabi dun sa first paragraph nila na walang endangered species of flora and fauna. Sa second
Mhm.
paragraph, they enumerated certain species of flora and fauna na nag-fall naman doon sa threatened species sa listahan ng DNR. So how come that the MGB approved the environmental work program that
Mhm.
the mining company itself declared that there are species of flora and fauna na threatened?
Threatened. That is a mystery. The renewal of exploration permit was granted on July 12 last year.
Yes.
12 days into the new presidency. Is that a mere coincidence?
Yes,
Uh,
that's July 12th. We had our protest that time, no,
mhm.
and some of the municipal councilors went up to the mountain to check dahil hinanapan nila ng exploration permit.
Mhm.
Nung bumalik na yung mga konsihal sa munisipyo, doon na lang ipinasa, no, while the councilors are in the mountain, pumunta naman yung company doon sa office of the mayor to submit the exploration permit copy.
Mhm.
So maraming complicated, but they did not do their assignments right.
Nung first State of the Nation address, I think the new president mentioned that mining would be one of his priorities. No? So this State of the Nation address took place a couple of weeks after the renewal of exploration permit was granted. Natunugan mo ba yon dun sa SONA? And then what was your reaction, Rodney?
Well, we for me personally, uh, still vigilant. I
Mhm.
won't believe right away because of the connection of the
Mhm.
family to the
Mhm.
mining industry. No?
Mhm.
So it's better na merong action kaagad.
Mhm.
And if we talk about action, what happened here in Sibuyan is a very good example of what this administration is doing on the issue of the environment.
So the original, let's talk about local government support, no, on different levels. The original approvals given in 2009, mukhang may kasamang mga questionable practices, as you said, no?
Mhm.
Today, kamusta ang suporta at the level of the barangay? Both
Sa
barangay.
barangay wala tayong problema, no, both barangays. Well, sa barangay Taclobo, we don't know what's the position of the barangay captain, but
Mhm.
the majority of the barangay kagawas are with us. Here, dito sa Espanya, we're happy that from the very beginning, no, the barangay council has been very very vocal when it comes to the mining issue. They are there at the barricade, supporting the barricade, and they have actually approved an ordinance last January 21, and
Mhm.
before that, an ordinance having a 25-year moratorium for large-scale mining in their barangay. And we hope that the municipal council will confirm and approve such.
How about the support at the level of the mayor?
The level of the mayor, still the same yung kanyang position. She will act within the bounds of the law, and it is not within her jurisdiction to stop the mining company.
How about at the level of the governor?
The level of the governor, he actually facilitated the dialogue last Friday,
Mhm.
he said, no, he said during a dialogue with the community, no, that kung ano yung public opinion doon siya.
This was this dialogue that he brokered. This happened after the police dispersed the barricade or before it?
Yes, yes, after the barricade, after nila disperse yung barricade. At
So,
for mga 4 p.m. onwards kami. We stayed until almost 11 because nalaman natin na mayroong notice of violation. And uh,
mhm,
John, I think this needs to be exposed, no? The
mhm.
mining company knew Thursday pa lang na may notice of violation sila, yung first notice of violation. Thursday pa lang before the barricade was
Yeah,
dispersed.
it was dated
Uh,
Feb 2, right? Mhm,
Yes, they accepted that, no. So Feb
mhm.
1 was the notice, Feb 2 they receive it. So they very well know, and even the police knew na may notice of violation, but they sided, no. The police sided with the mining company. Other notices of violation, notice one, number 2, and number 3. Alam na ng mining company within that room na nagkaroon ng dialogue with the governor, with the DILG, with the LGU, and they said, okay, we'll seek advice from their head office, and they would accept the notice of violation. But eventually, the representative left,
Mhm.
telling us that he has no authority to accept the notice of violation.
Is there another dialogue scheduled with the mining company, between the mining
Mm,
company and the people?
None as of this moment. We will not engage as of this moment because we know
Mhm.
that what they've been doing here in the island are all illegal. Uh, and that's why we're calling for everyone, for the government, for many government agencies to take a look at this. No, dapat na impound yung barge, na impound yung mga trucks na yon, among others. Uh, as of now, we don't have the interest to sit down with the mining company, as from the very beginning they deceive the people and even the barangay officials.
And I think it was Friday also that there was an attempt to bring you before the courts, no? Parang may lawsuit, and then it was immediately withdrawn. Can you talk about that?
Yes, yes. Last Saturday, hindi namin alam, no, na kinasuhan kami ng mining company. We just received the order from the court yesterday, and with the order of the court na pinapa-appear kami was also another document as that the case was withdrawn by the mining company. Well, we're not afraid because we all know this is a strategic lawsuit against public participation, which
Mm-hmm.
the court can dismiss right away.
Slap, ano? Um, how do you see this playing out, Rodney?
Ah, this issue of Sibuyan Island is a microcosm of what has been happening in the country. No, this is not only
Mm-hmm.
about mining, but it's also about the conflicting tenurial issues. No, na meron tayo. And the case of Sibuyan uh, is an example of how we people sa rural areas, no, sa cities, uh, address the problem of conflicting land claims. No? And even the government must address this through changing policies of land uses, and even uh, considering developments and progress sa science, like climate change, disaster risk reduction and management, among others. Because the mining law does not consider all this, no? The IPCC report, uh, etc., the probabilistic and yung projections ng mga risks na meron tayo. And I know Secretary Tony Yululay Saga has the expertise on this and the science. This is the
Mm-hmm.
very, very case na dapat tingnan natin. So, I believe this issue is not an isolated issue. This
Mm-hmm.
issue of Sibuyan Island is a national issue that we need again to push for the enactment of the National Land Use Bill.
I can see from your own Twitter account that you have been the target of what you call the weaponized social media.
Yes,
What are the attacks like, and how do you and other protesters under attack respond?
yes. I think Rappler, if Rappler may be able to help us in this, no, to analyze the architecture, the algorithms, no. Uh, First, sa spam messages ko sa Facebook, no,
Mm-hmm.
for 2 consecutive days, no, every second may mga nagbe-message sa akin ng blackmailing, yung mga
Mm-hmm.
blackmails and even malicious words and messages.
Mm-hmm.
Para siyang bot eh, para siyang bot. I can actually give copies, no, and save natin yon. But not
Mm-hmm.
only that, the mining company has created 7 to 10 Facebook pages na mga pseudo organizations. And with that, same people accounts ang nag-share sa iba't ibang mga platforms. So I
Mm-hmm.
believe this is a new way of, say, the mining company or some industries in
Mm-hmm.
creating a platform that will mislead the people, will create misinformation, and promote their industry. We hope that the network, no, of Rappler
Mm-hmm.
for seeking for the truth would be able to help us with this. Sibuyan case, no, this may happen also sa ibang mga lugar that they weaponize social media, even the media, to spread misinformation and even to instill fear to sa mga environmental defenders.
Rodney, thanks for bringing that up. No, I'll put you in touch with the people who you need to talk to here in Rappler. I asked my first question was about the barricades. Maybe our last couple of questions should be about the barricades also. How do the barricades work? I mean, do you have a rotation, shifts on rotation, and so how does that work? How do you organize it?
Yeah, we have shift. No, this is the first time the island experienced this one. This is the first time that we saw riot police in full gears. No, and those who were in barricade are simple Cebuyanos. We have farmers, we have fisher folks, we have religious leaders, we have barangay kagawads. We call this tikop, no? Tikop means we will get together when we meet together. This is part of one of the what we do in our community net fishing when the end of the net comes and the fishes are there, we shout tikop and then come together, to secure the fish. So that's why we have hashtag tikop Sibuyan. So there's a rotation, no, and with the municipal with the barangay officials, and there's the prayer warriors. We do our prayers every day and rosaries. We have our kitchen staff, etc. We are currently developing our protocols, no, our security protocols. It's organic, really. It's really organic. There are no national or political organizations or ideologies or whatsoever with us, but it's an organic act of the people. So it's very, very unique. It's very unique that now we realize that our Cebuyanos really are very brave. We're very brave. That if we are being oppressed, then we can stand. We have this saying, no, yung mabait na aso, pag binigla mo, kahagatin ka niyan.
Okay, I was about to say, what a beautiful metaphor, no, about the teacup, the hauling in of the nets. But that other metaphor you just ended with, that's also pretty useful. But the teacup metaphor, no, reminds me. It has some Christian undertones, no. That reminds me that Caritas came out with a statement in support of your protest. I want to know, is the Catholic Church involved here? I mean, you are executive director of Living Laudato Si. Are there priests, for instance, or nuns at the barricades? Have you heard from the bishop?
Yeah. The bishop went there, no, on Wednesday. The first attempt, no,
Mhm.
the first attempt.
Mhm.
We had this barricade on Wednesday na hindi natuloy yung mga trucks. The bishop was there, and he was teary-eyed, and we talked, and what can the church do? But in fact, John, from the very beginning of our mining campaign here in Sibuyan, since 2005, sa ibang mining company, we saw nuns and even priests barricading backhoes and bulldozers. So historically, the church, no, has
Yes.
been here supporting us. The Presbyterium, the clergy, has a statement. The diocese of the laity has a statement. But not only that, we have this Romblon Ecumenical Forum Against Mining.
Okay.
This has been instrumental in watching, no, yung mga mining applications not only in Sibuyan but also in Tablas. Balayas na ngayon, no, na isang mining company sa Tablas. And that led to the removal of all terrestrial mining applications in Tablas Island. So the church has
Maybe
been
we can
there.
end on, yes, thank you. Maybe we can end on that hopeful note, no? I have more questions, but we're running long. To Rodne Galicha of Living Laudato Si and also Action Klima PH, among other organizations. Thank you very much. Your courageous work defending Sibuyan from environmental degradation is also a defense of the public square. Again, many thanks, Rodney.
Thank you.
That's it for us tonight. The next step for engaged citizens is always to take a more active part in rebuilding our democracy. See you in the public square. This is John Nery. Thank you and good night.